For decades, Hollywood fans have whispered, speculated, and searched for answers about what really happened to Carole Lombard, the brilliant, beloved actress whose life ended far too soon. Now, after years of rumors and half-truths, we finally know the heartbreaking reality behind one of the most shocking tragedies in classic film history. Carole Lombard was far more than a glamorous movie star. She was the queen of screwball comedy, the wife of Clark Gable, and one of the most admired women in Hollywood. She had an energy that lit up every room and a charm that made audiences fall instantly in love. But behind her radiant smile, she lived with relentless pressure, studio demands, physically exhausting filming schedules, and the heavy burden of being one of the most bankable actresses of her time. In early 1942, Carole was determined to help the country during World War II. She passionately led a national war bond tour, traveling city to city, pushing herself beyond her limits to raise money for the troops. Those closest to her begged her to slow down, but Lombard refused. She wanted to prove that Hollywood was willing to sacrifice just as much as anyone else. When the tour ended, Carole insisted on returning home immediately to her husband, Clark Gable. Instead of taking a train, which her mother and others encouraged, she boarded a flight. At the time, air travel was still risky, especially across rugged terrain in winter conditions. But Lombard was stubborn, fearless, and determined to get home as fast as possible. What happened next still haunts Hollywood. Just minutes after takeoff from Las Vegas, the aircraft crashed into Potosi Mountain. The impact was devastating. Everyone on board, 22 people, including Carole and her mother, lost their lives instantly. For decades, theories circulated: mechanical failure, pilot error, bad weather, even sabotage. But newly uncovered records and testimony paint a far clearer picture. Investigators now believe the combination of high winds, outdated navigational equipment, and rushed decisions contributed to the accident. The pilots were flying at night in difficult conditions, relying on instruments that had known issues. Wartime restrictions also prevented them from using certain lighting and radio signals that could have guided them more safely. Carole Lombard was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught in a chain of small errors that led to an unimaginable tragedy. Clark Gable was shattered. Friends say he never fully recovered from losing the woman he considered the love of his life. He enlisted in the military soon after, some say out of grief, others say out of guilt. In private, Gable kept photos of Carole for the rest of his days, and he spoke of her often, even decades later. Today, Carole Lombard's legacy remains powerful, not just as a Hollywood icon, but as a woman whose bravery, patriotism, and dedication cost her everything. And now that the truth is finally clear, her story becomes even more heartbreaking, a reminder of how quickly even the brightest stars can be lost.